Hello everyone, and welcome to a different kind of video on the channel today, where I just am going to talk about Star Wars unhinged and unscripted as a certificate of authenticity for the fact that, yes, I'm a fan of Star Wars, before I introduce Star Wars related content to the channel. And I think this is so hilarious because, honestly, I have grown up with Star Wars since being, born in the 90s. I've grown up with Star Wars my whole entire life, and it was introduced to me very early on, and since then it has just really become like a massive, huge part of my existence, as I think a lot of big Star Wars fans can relate to that. It just resonates within our very being as a thing that we enjoy. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about Star Wars because I want to start playing Star Wars games on the channel, because I haven't played every single Star Wars game to play, and there's a lot that I do want to play, and there are ones that are coming out that I am also going to play. And it's just so bizarre that there's, a big part of me on the YouTube channel is sharing what I adore and sharing what I love, and new experiences on the channel. And I haven't been able to really showcase and share my love for Star Wars as much as I want to on the channel yet. We've been caught up in playing so many different games and all that kind of stuff that it's just been so funny to just have this massive portion of my life missing from the channel. And I want to start introducing some Star Wars related content, mostly pretty much in the form of the video games, naturally to fit the theme of the channel, but at the same time I feel like I need to fight for my life and just be like, you guys are going to see me upload like a Star Wars game and be like, how does this guy even know about Star Wars? Does he know about Prune Face in Return of the Jedi? Does he even fucking know about Star Wars? Look at this clown, And I feel like I just need to talk about Star Wars to prove myself as a Star Wars guy. To preface, I'm going to give my opinion on the Star Wars movies. That one's the big one. I think all Star Wars movies are acceptable. All Star Wars movies are good. There are no bad Star Wars movies, but there are Star Wars movies that are better than other Star Wars movies. And there are Star Wars movies that are at the bottom of my list, and there are Star Wars movies that are at the top of my list. So even a Star Wars movie at the very bottom of my list, I can find things to enjoy about it, but not as much as other movies. Yeah. In terms of Star Wars movies, I grew up with the prequels, so I like the prequels. As much as I can see glaring faults with them, I still like them. I then, after that, being a Star Wars fan of the original trilogy and like playing Star Wars games as a kid growing up, I was like, that's it. Star Wars is done. There's going to be no new Star Wars movies ever again. It's over. Sad face. Now I'm just going to play Lego Star Wars and The Force Unleashed and Star Wars Battlefront forever. and that's it, and I did. I've like the Star Wars games that I've played is like the original Battlefront games, and I've played Republic Commando and the Lego Star Wars games. One of my favorite games is Star Wars Episode 1 on the PlayStation 1 and Star Wars Episode 3 on the original Xbox right here. Recently added to backwards compatibility, but I played it on the PS2 because I was a PS2 guy, PS2 child, I should say, not a guy. I was not a guy. Have I always had a beard and a bald head? Yes, I was born a man, fully haired up and into Star Wars. I'm a balding man in his mid-20s. Of course I'm a fucking fan of Star Wars. What do you want from me, man? It's part of the job description. I love Star Wars. Did I tell you that this is unscripted? I did. And funnily enough, fun fact, is this little guy up here, Jedi Fallen Order, was almost the game that I actually started my YouTube channel up with when I was thinking about doing the YouTube channel properly and coming in, is instead of starting at the beginning, like around the January to March 2020 period, just before all of the lockdown COVID craziness, I was going to play Jedi Fallen Order for the first time as soon as it came out in late 2019. That was going to be, I want to play Star Wars because I love Star Wars, and that's going to be on the channel. And then I didn't, it wasn't the right time. I think I wasn't like mentally like prepared. I didn't have all the right stuff. That's not to say you need stuff, but I literally didn't even have a microphone and a webcam. Okay, I didn't have stuff, is what I'm saying. And I eventually forced myself to do it by buying myself that stuff, and then the rest is history. But I almost did a Jedi Fallen Order playthrough on the channel, but instead I played it in my own time. Beautiful game. I can't wait for a potential sequel to come out soon. That's going to be another new game, as well as Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. The complete saga already exists. Can this game get dethroned? Can Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, get dethroned? We'll find out. But yeah, I own a lot of digital Star Wars games now. I also own a lot of them on Steam, on PC. So this isn't my Star Wars game collection. I've got much more. I've got physical games on the original PS2, like Phantom Menace on PS1. I have an original Xbox Star Wars game, Star Wars Obi-Wan, that I haven't played yet, but it does make me sad because it's not backwards compatible anywhere, and it's not released on anything else, so the only way to play that game is on the original Xbox, and I would love to do a playthrough of it one day. We'll just have to figure out how I'll make something work to get my original Xbox recording so I can play it, because it's not even backwards compatible on the Xbox 360 that can play original Xbox games. So it's a challenge, but there's a whole bunch of games that I want to play, like the original Dark Forces / Jedi Knight saga. I did a meme / joke video playthrough of the very first Dark Forces game on the channel really early in 2020, in like February, I think. And that was fun to make. That's like my Star Wars stamp on the channel so far, is me playing the very first Dark Forces game in like one sitting in one day. But I want to continue that series to actually play the Jedi Knight games for the first time. The only one I've played is Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which I played as a kid growing up with, and I think that's like the last game in the saga, and it's been a long time since I played that one. But I think probably the biggest mark against my name as how dare you call yourself a Star Wars fan, is that I have never played Knights of the Old Republic, and I know nothing about the Old Republic. That's a period of Star Wars that I never delved into. I never got into it as a kid. I didn't have the means to play the games growing up, and therefore never got exposed to them. So the Old Republic I just always ignored. I stayed within the original saga and like spin-off titles and stuff, like Republic Commando, one of the best games of the Star Wars series. Love the Force Unleashed games as much as they are completely over-the-top power fantasies. It's great though. Like I said, the movie titles are awesome. Lego Star Wars games are great. Even love the as well as the original. Love the modern Battlefronts as well. They definitely have their merits, especially what Battlefront 2 ended up being. It's just a shame it had so much potential, and development was left for Battlefield 2042, and we know how that turned out. I haven't even finished Star Wars Squadrons yet. It's kind of fun. I do enjoy dogfighting stuff. It's not my favorite aspect of Star Wars, but it's great. Star Wars Racer is a lot of fun. Pod racing needs to come back into Star Wars. It's the greatest. I mean, they can make it work. Just give me a pod racing scene again. You know, they could make it work in 1999 and it still holds up today. Give me one with 2022 CGI, please. I want to see it. They can make it happen. But there's plenty of Star Wars games that are not even visually represented on this screen right now to play that I haven't played yet. And obviously the ones that are coming up. So Knights of the Old Republic is definitely going to be the Star Wars game that makes its way onto the channel. So it's going to be a brand new experience for me, but I do obviously have like Star Wars knowledge tucked away in here. And I wanted to show off Star Wars stuff that I own as well. I want to just be like, look guys, I'm one of those Star Wars guys who owns things and they're cool. Look at this guy. This is like, look how attractive this is. I love the original Mando armor. I don't mind his full Beskar. I don't mind his Beskar setup. That's right. Don't you guys remember when Mando got a full set of Beskar armor? I do. I don't mind the Beskar setup, but there's just something about the mismatchy with the red with the Beskar like chrome helmet that's so cool. So he's my little desk companion at the moment, but I've got some other stuff, and we're going to transition now to show that off, just so I can be like, yes, look guys, I have Star Wars things, I like it, I'm pretty knowledgeable on the subject, and then we'll come back here. Alright, let's go on a walk, okay? Don't look over there, ignore that mess, that corner doesn't exist. I'm going to give you a cringe Star Wars tour, so strap in everybody. You've got your 6 Star Wars movies here, the only 6 of the main Skywalker saga, so it's great to have like a full collection. I will say that these posters are quite old now. There's a bit of wear and tear. These are laminated. These are laminated and they're old. These are from 2005 because my newspaper, the local newspaper, was doing I think like it was I can't remember if it was like each week or something, they had like a bonus Star Wars movie poster leading up to the release of this bad boy in 2005. So I've had these posters since I was 10 years old, laminated. They've lived with me in many, many houses and been on many walls. But I think it's almost time to lay them to rest at this point. I might need to get some new ones, but like, look at these OG trilogy posters. So good. I love them a lot. You guys thirsty? I got Obi-Wan Kenobi or C-3PO flavor. What do you want? This one's a bit too like metallic for my taste. It's got a lot of iron in it. But this one's nice. It's good. This video is not sponsored by Pepsi or 7-Up, but you know, flavors there if you want it. If we show off my Star Wars action figure collection, I don't think we'll ever get out of here alive. So I'm just going to keep it simple, and we're going to look at just one, because this one's actually quite a sentimental figure. This is Yoda from Episode 1. He comes with a flashback photo. You can like, yeah, flick it on over to Empire Strikes Back. This was my dad's, so that's never been opened, and I'll probably never get rid of it. We all love Yoda. I got my Lego Star Wars TIE Fighter, which is I think is the only Lego that I have left. I did have more Star Wars Lego in the past, and I sold my Lego. I parted ways with my collection. I got these bad boys again. There's our guy. We love to see him. Depth perception when looking through the lens of a camera. So yeah, obviously I think I like Star Wars. This guy, Qui-Gon, he's a cool character. Luke Skywalker, I think his name is, and like the Stormtroopers, they're really cool. And then Ben Kenobi over there, he looks pretty cool in his exile getup. These are my good guys though. This is like the hero setup. This is still a work in progress over here at the moment, but I've got like a display cabinet thing being set up, and you can see that I've got Boba Fett, Darth Maul, and a couple of trooper boys. I love these 2 troopers. This little guy with his 5 seconds of screen time was definitely worth getting a full premium figure for, no doubt, because he looks cool as fuck. This is my little like baddies shelf. I've got another one that I haven't set up yet, so this is like work in progress, but then I'll move some others in there. One of my favorite things about this, by the way, is you can buy like an expensive Han Solo in Carbonite if you want, but I personally think that's a waste of money to just buy like a slab. So this is actually, if I take this guy out ever so carefully, this is actually like one of the old school like not Power of the Force, but it's like a plastic. It's a plastic one. It was in a 2-pack where it has like an actual figure of like Han Solo when he's been like defrosted. And I gotta say, like, the details are not bad for like something that's like an old figure. And I mean, it's to scale, so it sits quite nicely just behind Booby Fett over here. To the point where it's like, that's him with his eyes on the prize, you know. Man gets his bounty. This is probably my favorite dude though. Like, look at him. Man is absolutely gorgeous. It's struggling to focus a lot there. You got to have your Art of Rogue One, because Rogue One's the greatest Star Wars movie ever made. I got a couple of Star Wars comics, some notable ones. You're going to have the original screenplay, the rough draft screenplay of the Star Wars, which is actually a really fun read. Your Son of Dathomir comic, Thrawn, got the very first Star Wars Marvel Comics issue, 001. This one's like, I keep this one out here because I'm actually a little sad about this one, because I was going to meet Peter Mayhew at a convention a few years ago. He was going to come to Australia, and I was going to get this signed, the first issue of the Chewbacca miniseries. And obviously I never got round to... I didn't go to that convention, and I never got that one signed, unfortunately. I have like a few... There's like a few other things in here. Do you have an original Star Wars Shadows of the Empire comic book that's like 5 pages long? You might. It's kind of cool. It's Boba Fett doing Boba Fett stuff. I will accept no hate or slander for the Solo movie, because I think this movie is actually fantastic. It's so much fun, and I have the official guide as well as the Rogue One visual guide. Honestly, a Star Wars story movies, like some of my favorite Star Wars stuff. This reference book is awesome. I should actually have it on display. This is only like recent at the moment, like setting up some furniture in here, so it's all still a work in progress, but this is like a massive reference book of the costumes of the original trilogy, as it says on the cover. Concept art and like actual images of the stuff. Forgive me, I'm doing this with one hand right now. One of my favorite pages, I'll see if I can find it, is related to the bounty hunters, because it's so cool to see. Alright, this is Return of the Jedi. Let me go back. Yes, to the bounty hunters, where you can actually like see all the pieces and the helmets and stuff of like, look at this, Boba Fett's armor like stripped down, all of this kind of stuff, all of the different variations of like gauntlets and stuff. Very cool little reference book. This is where you can also find the original image of Darth Vader's burnt helmet from Return of the Jedi and how it actually looks, which actually proves that The Force Awakens is not canon, because it looks completely different, guys. Come on, you should know this. Star Wars Universe, a guide to 2nd edition, revised and expanded. This book came out before the prequel trilogy, so it's really funny. It mentions that the Clone Wars takes place 35 years before the original trilogy. Obviously, George Lucas took a big old shit on that and said, wrong, this book is incorrect, but I have it anyway, because it's cool. Did you guys hear about Darth plagiarism? Maybe not, but there's a book about it. You should read it. Episodes 1 to 6, comic book, gotta love it. And then I got, some other Star Wars comics and some other art books for games and whatnot. You gotta have a life-size Baby Yoda, Grogu, because why not? Look at this dude, his mouth moves. Look at that. Look at this cute guy. He's got squishy cheeks, he's great, got his little bowl, got his little Mando necklace. He's great. Then naturally you gotta have your Mando helmet as well set up. So I got Mando and Grogu on the shelf. Look at these, non-Star Wars related, but what a collection. Slowly building it up. I think that's my Star Wars stuff out in my front room. So there's proof that I engage with the media that is Star Wars. I'm a fan, and I hope that I've proven myself to the Star Wars diehard fans before I start playing Star Wars video games on the channel. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. So, there you go. As you can see, that was my brief little cringe Star Wars tour. Not 100% complete. You know, I've got boxes of just like loose random figures that I've contemplated parting ways with that just kind of like sit around. And I used to have, I used to have so many other things as well. Like there are Star Wars games that I own digitally now, so I've sold some physical games. There are, I used to collect Star Wars Black Series, the 6-inch figures, before deciding to sell all of those and go for quality over quantity. And I now have like a modest collection of the Star Wars Hot Toys. I've got an amount that I will not reveal on pre-order at the moment as well, that will eventually make its way onto some shelves that are related to The Mandalorian, because that is just some of the best Star Wars content I have ever consumed in my life. And again, talking about I haven't even mentioned the animated shows. Like, I love the animated shows. So yes, I've watched all of Clone Wars, I've watched all of Rebels, I've even watched Star Wars Resistance. Don't watch Star Wars Resistance. But I've consumed a lot of Star Wars media. Obviously, the Old Republic, and even more recently, the High Republic, the new era of Star Wars that is being covered in canon now. I have not delved into yet. There's comic books happening. There's audiobooks. I do have a couple of audiobooks to listen to, and I have tried so far. And then there is also the Star Wars Eclipse game that is coming out, that people are hyped about but also concerned about, and the developer doesn't have the best track record of all time, so we'll just have to wait and see how that ends up turning out. But I'm going to end this video with a ranking of the Star Wars movies, and I'm prepared for a roasting of some sort from our lovely our united Star Wars fan base. We've never been more passionate and positive about Star Wars. I don't know. It's very loose, but like genuinely, I think I'm not going to do a number ranking. I'm just going to talk about the stuff that I love the most and then the stuff that I like the least, because that was probably the easiest for me to give to you right now without a lot of thought. Is the best Star Wars content that I have consumed, that I think is top tier Star Wars, is The Empire Strikes Back. There you go. Satisfied? Thank you. Rogue One, The Mandalorian, Clone Wars, and Rebels. Especially the last, the last 2.5 seasons of Rebels is like, thank you, Dave Filoni. That's good shit. That's gourmet. That is gourmet Star Wars. Is like, I'll watch The Mandalorian and just be like, holy shit, I have gone to heaven of Star Wars, because it's the best media I've ever consumed in my life. It's so good, and there's some really, really good and unique things that come up in Clone Wars and Rebels that you forget you're watching animated stuff, especially Season 7 of Clone Wars. My god, that's insane. That's insane. That's another thing that I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for my Ahsoka and my Clone Wars Darth Maul figures to sit on my shelf as well. They were supposed to be coming out last year, and they got delayed, because there's a little pandemic going on at the moment. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's a little indie pandemic right now. It's up and coming. So I'll get those eventually. And then, like, underneath that is, like, good Star Wars. Like, really, really good Star Wars. Like, that was my top tier stuff. But, like, really good Star Wars is obviously Episode 4 and 6. Rest of the original trilogy. We got stuff like Book of Boba Fett is really good. It's getting super good right now. It was doing some really great character development stuff. I've seen a lot of people trashing on it. I think that's unfair, because stories need to set the scene for big payoffs, and we're getting the big payoffs now. It's so worth it. Book of Boba Fett is so much fun. Do wish Boba Fett maybe wore the helmet a bit more. But Tamura Morrison getting that fucking cash, and I'm so happy that he is just living his best Star Wars life, to be honest. Love the prequel trilogy. Episode 2 is my least favorite of that trilogy. Episode 3 being my favorite, and I have a lot of nostalgia for Episode 1. Like, a lot. There's so much cool stuff about Episode 1 for me. It's a fantastic movie. And then we're going to talk about the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy... Oh, sorry, I forgot about Solo. Solo's in the good stuff. Solo's with those movies, right? And then we're going to talk about the stuff that I don't like as much, but is still enjoyable, and stuff that is kind of good, which is Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9. And then, like, Star Wars Resistance and stuff, and all that sort of stuff at the bottom. And that pretty much covers the movies. It pretty much covers the movies. I think that's pretty simple. Got my stuff at top tier, which is great. I got my stuff in the middle, which is awesome, and I got my stuff that is like it's acceptable. But there is definitely a tier list there of a decline in quality and a disrespect to an extent of the legacy of Star Wars. And I could probably talk at length about the sequel trilogy. But I won't. Not in this video, because this is supposed to be a happy, positive place where all Star Wars is, at best, okay. But, like, genuinely, I don't, like, hate the sequel trilogy. I just don't like it as much as the rest. And I can watch them. I haven't actually watched Episode 9 since I watched it in the cinemas. It's the only one that I haven't rewatched. And I wish so hard that they doubled down on Episode 8 instead of backpedaling, and I think that they would have been able to do something really, really cool. There's just so much dumb shit that goes on in there, but there's some really cool stuff too, and that is the problem, is it's so bittersweet to cap off your Skywalker saga with something that, like, instead of being a triumphant, like, victory explosion, it is more so better compared to that of a wet fart. And not a funny one either. And that's what I'll say about that. But I'm really excited for what's to come in Star Wars. I'm really excited what we're currently getting. So excited about being able to explore my backlog of Star Wars and just share it all with you guys. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble about Star Wars. I think this is the most ramble-like video I've ever done. Usually I do all of my chats unscripted. I sit here and the camera rolls and I go, fuck, I'm just going to have words come out of my mouth and we'll see how we go. Hopefully it's digestible. Hopefully it's good. I just sit here and say things, and then hopefully there's a video there. I just sit here, it's unscripted, it's unedited, it's unfiltered apocalypse content. I'm talking about something that I love too, Star Wars. It's good. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited to share some Star Wars videos, Star Wars games, all of that kind of stuff with you. I just felt like I had to kind of be like, hello, this is what I like about Star Wars. This is how I feel about it. And, yeah, so I'm not just going into Star Wars blind or something with Knights of the Old Republic, but it is going to eventually make its way onto the channel really soon. Probably the Xbox versions, because I do have them on Steam. But the aspect ratio and getting it all to work and, like, all that kind of stuff is proving a little bit of a challenge when I've tried to, like, have a look at how it all boots up, because I was having a lot of issues with Dark Forces on PC as well. The older Star Wars games really kind of struggle to exist when you boot them up. So for consistency and something that I know would probably be quite smooth, backwards compatibility on the Xbox Series X with Knights of the Old Republic might be the way to go. So we'll see how we go. I am aware that there is apparently like a mod or something for Knights of the Old Republic 2 that restores like cut content, something like that. And we'll just have to address that roadblock when we come to it, whether I want to experience a fan-made restoration of an intended original experience, or whether I should take it as it was released first and then maybe check out the other stuff later. Who knows? We'll see. Give me your opinions without spoilers, and we'll see how we go. But let me know what you guys think about Star Wars. Star Wars is a generational thing that a lot of people have grown up with and have a lot of our own personal feelings towards. There is so much Star Wars media that it's such a varied landscape of people's opinions of how dare you love that, it sucks, how dare you hate that, it's great. How can you not have played this? How can you not have watched this? All this kind of blah, blah, blah. I don't want to watch animation because it's for kids. It's a cartoon, man. And I was one of those kids. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see Star Wars. And I was not into Clone Wars after Revenge of the Sith, because they were like the Clone Wars movie and all that kind of stuff. It didn't start off very well. And I was very like, that shit looks like ass. And then I actually binged it, and I watched all of it, and as soon as I got to like season 3 onwards, top tier Star Wars, man. So cool. I'm glad I did push through and actually watch Star Wars, and then like the Clone Wars, and then Rebels, and all that kind of stuff. And if you haven't done it yet, this is a threat. Watch it, and then feel free to be inducted into my clan, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry it's been a bit of a mess. Just love Star Wars a lot. I'm excited, really, super excited, to share Star Wars games with you in the future. So keep an eye out for those. I'll see you then.